Hello everybody, today I'm going to be going over how we're going to prepare San Pedro for getting planted into the ground like this. Usually it takes 1 year of acclimation before I'll put it into the ground. So we're going to go over the processes of that, and hopefully one day we'll get the one as big as this one here. This is my largest one so far. It's been in the ground for about 2 years and it's just now starting to push off blooms. I'm hoping I can get it fully to bloom, although I have not been able to get a full bloom yet out of a San Pedro, but let's go. Alrighty, so we've selected the cactus. Look at this thing is monstrous compared to the pot, so we're gonna get into a bigger pot. First thing we're gonna wanna do is find the direction. This is east. And we wanna make sure we align the cactus with the direction that it's already been facing the sun. That way it's the most tolerable while it adapts to its new spot. Alright, so I'm taking a 5-gallon bucket and I'm gonna fill that up with garden soil. I'm gonna do that 2 times to get 10 gallons. I'm doing this because I'm potting a cactus from a 5-gallon into a 15-gallon pot. So I'm gonna need at least 15-gallon worth of soil. So there's gonna be 10 gallons worth is gonna be actual just straight garden soil, something generic you would buy from the store. And then on the last 5 gallons, I'm gonna fill half of it up with my native soil and then half of it up with just recycled old soil I get from pots that are like cactus unpotted, or when they're done growing for like a year, 2 years and they get uppotted. I'll take some of that soil and recycle it into it. So you'll see that on the later half. Here's the native desert soil. We wanna be doing that because my end goal is to put the cactus in the ground where there's gonna be basically all of the soil around it. So it needs to start adapting and start basically getting used to the soil that it's gonna be living through adulthood through. So here we go, I'm just gonna fill this up, and then here comes 2 little scoops of the recycled soil I've gotten from other pots. And then I'm just gonna mix all of that up and take the 15 pot and fill that up like halfway before I even put any cactus in it. It's also worth noting that I like to add the perlite at the very end, so that's what I'm doing here. I've got all my 15 gallons worth of soil. Now I'm just gonna add a dusting of perlite all throughout it. That recycled soil I added earlier also had a good amount of perlite also. And then I'm gonna mix all of that up, and then generally I will eyeball it. And if it doesn't look like it has enough perlite in it, then I will add some more perlite. And then if it looks like it has too much perlite in it, then I will start adding soil in the kind of the same ratio that I was adding it prior. I usually like to go a little light beforehand so I don't have to add more soil after. So here I am filling up the pot about halfway with soil before I put the cactus in so that it has room to sit on its own. I don't want the cactus to be too deep down there since this pot is sizably bigger than the pot it was sitting in, and I want to try to keep the soil about level with what it was before. Now here I'm just gonna pull the pot right on out from underneath the roots, and I'm gonna keep most of that root ball all intact. I'm not gonna really do anything. Try to lift it up without crushing the top there, and it's looking pretty good, so I just put it right on in there. Once I have it in there, then I will start to break up the roots around the side. I'm not gonna break up too much, I just wanna get them loose so that the roots know that they have room to spread out now and they're not root bound anymore. And then once I've got all of the roots a little spaced out, I'll start filling in the soil around the edges, and it should be good to go after that. It should be nice and beautiful. Once it's all about done, like 70% soil, you want to make sure it's straight. That is very important. And then I'll fill in like the remaining 30% soil once I've realized that it's straight. Now that it's nice and good, I'm going to double back with the compass, make sure that it faces the same area that it was when I originally moved it. And I'm going to leave this cactus under the tree here for about a year before I put it into the ground. And we'll check back in once that's happened. So thank you guys for tuning in and have a good one.